Hey Soul Fam, happy Saturday. It is Celinelizette, and I honestly am just deciding to do this video spur of the moment. I don't really have a topic. I just know that I want to express how I'm feeling and just vlog about, I don't know, a lot has happened this week. So just a whole bunch of different events. And I think I'm going through a lot mentally, emotionally. It's just back and forth. I feel myself have negative emotions, and then I feel like my higher self is, good at interjecting and be like, no, you're feeling good. I'm going back and forth nonstop. So I'm like, I should just vlog and talk about what's really going on in my mind, because it's real. This is my Saturday. I'm just in my room, which is my sanctuary. I've talked about that before, but watching Hocus Pocus, have my candles lit. I have my intention candles, and I have my lights on, so it's cozy and it's dark, so it makes me feel like I'm in my cave. And that's something that makes me feel good. I don't really care to go out, which I just went out yesterday, and that kind of had its own effect on me from the experience, which I'm it was both it had its pros and cons, and I feel overall good with the feelings that I felt when I got back home. But yeah, so I'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, so yeah, I'm just gonna do an update on how I'm currently feeling. Decided to be really raw and not wearing any makeup right now. I just woke up not too long ago from a nap, and I'm wearing my Invisalign retainers, so excuse my appearance. But anyways, so this week was crazy. First of all, there was a full moon on Thursday. Full moons are always high energy, and they usually have a pretty good effect or a pretty crazy effect. And sometimes it has been bad. One time I did chip my tooth when I was in high school on a full moon, and I had it was crazy. I literally fell out of nowhere on a street when me and my friends were running and being stupid. I don't know why I decided to talk about this, but yeah, I literally chipped my front tooth, and I was freaking out because I landed flat like a pancake. It didn't even, it was so weird. It's not like I fell in slow motion, legs first and then your whole body hits. It was literally just flat down to the point where my teeth skidded. But it actually didn't hurt that bad. It was really weird. Anyway, so my point is that happened on full moon once, and it was crazy. So since then, I'm a total believer that the full moon is high energy. But yeah, so this week there was one Thursday, and the week started off though pretty good on Tuesday, which I'm gonna do a video on. It's actually really hot in here. Sorry that I'm sweating. But yeah, anyways, so the week started off really good. Tuesday, honestly, I was feeling really lazy for some reason. I think Mars is in retrograde, which means that Mars is the planet of action. So it did say that with Mars in retrograde, it's going to start slowing down people, and people don't realize how much Mars helps us all out, because it helps motivate us versus when it's in retrograde, we're kind of on our own, so people can be less motivated. So I kind of felt like I was feeling lazy this week, and I wanted to film more than I did. I felt like I needed to rest and recharge, actually. So and I think it's because last week, this is something that I think about, if I'm not doing something and moving towards a goal, it kind of tends to give me anxiety. So I think I was really just focusing too hard. Sometimes I just go overboard. So I had to rest and recharge. That's what I was feeling. So then Tuesday, and I also started feeling like I wanted to have another healing experience with shrooms. And so I have another video on my first experience with shrooms, and or my first healing experience with shrooms, and it's 40 minutes long, but I have labels and stuff. You guys should go check it out. And it was just so beautiful, so spiritually healing, way more. It exceeded my expectations by far. And it was the first time that I've ever had a euphoric feeling like that, and also releasing deep pain. So, I kind of wanted a similar experience. And I also got answers from, honestly, I feel my spirit family. So, I kind of wanted a similar experience, more not so much I didn't know if I was gonna cry a bunch again and do more healing on that end, but I did want to get some answers that I've been thinking about. So I decided to pick up the shrooms for my friend on Monday. And then I was okay, I wanted to wait for the full moon because, high energy and stuff. And then instead, because this week was going to be really, really hot, you know, like the weather, definitely the temperature is rising, but yeah, it was actually good weather on Tuesday. And I was looking at different parks and stuff. And then Tuesday morning, I woke up feeling really, really good because the days before I wasn't feeling that good. I kind of felt like, I don't know, every day that I woke up, I felt like was a continuation of the day before versus like a new fresh day with a fresh start. Like I love when I wake up feeling like that. And that's how I woke up feeling Tuesday. And then I was like, I don't know, the day went on and I was like, okay, well, maybe I should film. But then I was like, I feel so good though. Like maybe I should try just like, you know, not planning, going with the flow. I feel good. Like maybe I should try doing the shrooms today. So I looked up this park in Huntington Beach, and I knew I really wanted to be in nature and like at a secluded type of park. So so yeah, I knew I wanted to be in nature at a secluded type of park, and I looked up. I magically like found the Huntington Park because I've never been there. It was called like Huntington Central Park, and when I saw the pictures on Yelp, I was like, oh, that looks like perfect. And then I looked up the weather, and it was going to be like a high of 85. So then I was like, you know, like it was already like 11 a.m. when I was like looking this up, and I was like, why do I need to plan it? Why do I have to have it on like this specific day? Like maybe I should just go with the flow. And literally I decided to just go with the flow, and I ended up like getting the shrooms. I packed like a little bag together, a care package bag. Like I went and got brownies and pretzels because those are my favorite snacks. And then, well, not so much pretzels, but the brownies. And then I packed like a blanket and something to lay out on. And then I took my water bottle with like ice cold water and like a spray bottle and a wet towel in case I get hot. So then, so I packed that up, and I like, my mom was like, oh, where are you going? I was like, oh, I just want to go to the park. And she's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, just relax. So I literally left at like 11:30. I got there at 12. And then when I got there, it was perfect because I saw like families, but it was very, very spacious and very, very like private in certain areas. So then I was like, okay, perfect. Like I can go lay out there, and then there's still people in the distance. So I felt safe because I didn't want to be at a place that was completely secluded. Like, I don't know, if something happens and I scream, like I see people, I know that they can hear me. So that's like my thought process. So then I chose a spot, did it, and I literally had, it was the best day ever. I've never done shrooms in nature like that. And like, and with the amount that I took this, and again, I was by myself because I wanted that spiritual healing experience again that I, you know, had like the first time. And it was just amazing. I definitely didn't, I'll do a video on that, but yeah, it was just so beautiful. And again, like it brings me closer to my higher self. Like every time I do it and I get to that spot, it like, it just, it's like I am my higher self, and that's what I love about it. And I'm like, I wish I could stay that way forever, but it's like I know I'm not there yet, but I am a lot closer to fully being like my higher self. I'm doing the work, I'm doing, you know, all the self-love work. I still go to hypnotherapy, and like, you know, that's my goal, is like to be my higher self and to be like the best version of myself, right? So that's how Tuesday was. And, you know, really good. Again, I found out some insight, but I don't want to give too much detail because I'm going to do another video on that. But after that, Wednesday, because of that, you know, I was feeling good Wednesday, but then I actually had like just regular healing. I ended up like crying a lot that night because somehow, I don't know, I was actually watching like a tarot scope video because I do that. That's like part of my hobbies. I should do a video on my hobbies, but like literally I will watch a tarot scope. I'm a Gemini, so I always watch a Gemini tarot scope. I have my favorite tarot scope readers, and like, and then one of them really resonated with me, and it brought me back to thinking of my like twin flame, or the guy, which I've talked about in other videos, that I was really in love with, and he was quite toxic. I mean, like I was toxic at one point too, but things got pretty toxic. And yeah, it's been a huge journey with him. So I feel that we're at the end of like our cycle altogether. It's been a total of like, I've known him, or I first met him in 2017 in March. So yeah, it's been like 3 years, and I feel like I know it's coming to an end. And the video was saying like, you feel like this person is the right person for you. I could totally get emotional right now because there's just so much emotions. But you feel this person is the right person for you, and you're in love with them, but like the harsh truth is that they feel that way about someone else. And like, you know, I don't doubt that's true. And like, I don't know, it like I felt acceptance for it, but like I had to cry that out. Like that part hurts the most, knowing that someone that you really care about, that you really like are in love with, feels that way about someone else. It's just like a shitty feeling, you know? But I cried it out, and then I just, you know, because it's okay to hurt, it's okay to feel pain, and I felt like I just had to accept it. And then the next day, I felt a lot better. I actually, like, I thought about it again, and it didn't, and you know, it's like, it's not like that's the first time I've ever heard that or thought about that. So it's like, it's not like the first time I've cried about this, but I feel like it actually definitely healed something within me, because after that, the next day when I woke up, I did feel a lot better. And when I thought about it, it's like I don't feel the need to like cry. Like, even though, yeah, it sucks, I genuinely feel like if that's true and he like belongs with someone else, and that means there's someone else for me. And also what he's been giving me in this whole time, it's like, no, like I deserve so much more than that. And I feel like he's just, it's not what I deserve, and I would want to be given so much more, because when I really love someone, like I give them my all, and I would want someone to give me the same. So that's not him. It hasn't been him that has been giving me his all at all. He's been barely giving me, he's been breadcrumbing me, if anything. But yeah, so that happened Wednesday. I mean, sorry, that happened Thursday, that realization. So Thursday was a good day, and then kind of just chilled. And then Friday was a good day because in the morning, yeah, I decided to film my most recent video, which I posted, which was on toxic traits, 5 specific toxic traits of how to tell if a guy's toxic. So I did that. I felt good about filming it. And then I posted Friday morning, and I felt really good about that. And me and my friend had plans to go out. This was yesterday. And so also Thursday night, I lit my full moon intention candles, which always, like, candles are just my thing. So it's one of my like things that makes me feel centered, and it's part of like my sanctuary. I love when candles are lit in my room. So yeah, I lit my intention candles. That made me feel good. And then it's like part of my self-care ritual, that's what I would say. And then Friday, so yeah, after I uploaded it, me and my friend had talked about going out. Oh, and then Friday, I felt out of nowhere, I was listening to Cascade, and Cascade is what I listened to the day of the shrooms trip. Once I had already, like, I was kind of microdosing, which means like the peak, the highest point has already happened, and at this point it was just like wearing off. But the sunset, like I had stayed at the park for 8 hours, no joke, so I saw the sunset, and I was listening to Cascade when I did that, and it was just such a beautiful experience. So now I think when I listen to that same Cascade playlist on Spotify, I got the same vibes that I got when I was, you know, from that day. So yesterday it was like I just felt again like my higher self. Like it brought me back to how I felt when I was high. And so I was like, oh my God, like I loved it. Like I just love how I feel. It's like I feel so sure of myself. I feel just like, honestly, I say my inner Marilyn Monroe. Like I feel like, and me and Marilyn Monroe, I know like it sounds cheesy, but me and Marilyn Monroe have the same birthday, and I feel like, I don't know. And now I think I manifested getting this portrait of her, but my friend, okay, like I had wanted a portrait of Marilyn Monroe that was black and white for so long. And my friend magically had one when I went to go pick up the shrooms from him. And he was like, oh yeah, we're selling that on OfferUp. And I was like, oh my God, like I'll pay you for it. So it was literally $10. And I was like, I literally pictured this in my, like on my wall in my room, but I wanted it at my apartment, and I never got it. So it's just funny that like now I have it, and I wanted it for such a long time. So I feel like I manifested it, and it took forever to manifest it, but whatever, I finally did it. So yeah, so then I just felt super good, and I was like, yes, like this is the feeling that I want to feel all the time. And it gave me hope that I felt like that again after a shroom trip, because after the first one, it's like I felt better, but I didn't feel how euphoric and how secure and just whole I felt during the trip. It's like I was trying to get back to that point, but I never really had. I was there again. So for this trip, you know, I mean, I always feel that wholeness when I'm tripping. And then, like I said, a few days later, Friday, I felt that same feeling that I felt, that feeling of wholeness and just like being my true authentic self. and it was amazing. So then I ended up, you know, feeling good, and I ended up getting ready. I went about my day, and then I went out with my friend last night. A lot of things happened last night, but basically the moral of the story is I am so sensitive to people's energy now that I actually embrace how introverted I've become. Like, I used to be so extroverted, and I went with a friend that, like, she is such a social butterfly, but to the point where she will try to, like, make friends with a whole bunch of people, or like just be really nice to a whole bunch of people. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like why are you overextending your energy to these strangers, especially like I don't know, I don't really care to engage and like become friends with everybody anymore. Like I do, you know, believe in being nice and putting out like positive energy, of course, but you don't have to go out of your way to talk to these people in line. And just like everyone, even our Uber driver who ended up like saying, trying to persuade us to vote for Trump. And I am such, like, I won't talk about politics on here, but you know, and so I ended up getting like annoyed because she, like, I was holding my tongue for the longest time. And then when she felt comfortable enough, because my friend had started a conversation with her, she opened a can of worms and let her feel comfortable enough to try to persuade us. And then when she said something about like, if Biden wins, it's going to be a dictatorship. And then that's when I just lost it. I was like, are you kidding me? So anyways, so yeah, I ended up just saying like, no, lady. So that kind of killed my vibe. And then when we got in line to the place we were going, my friend was doing the whole social butterfly thing again. And I was like, I don't want to talk to these people. Like, I can feel their energy. And one guy, and like we talked about it afterwards, I was like, I didn't like his vibe. Like, I felt like he didn't understand personal space, and he was getting like really close to us. And I'm like, bro, like, we're in a pandemic, why are you getting close to us? And he was asking like what our vibe was. And yeah, he definitely seemed like he was on something. And then later my friend was like, yeah, like, even though I'm being nice and talking to him, it's like, I know, she said that she knows in the back of her mind that you know, like, they're on something. She's like, she's aware not to, that they're just like weird, but she'll still be nice. But for me, I'm like, well, if you know that, like, why do you feel you need to be polite? I don't know. I mean, or not polite, but you need to like keep engaging with them. So I think you should always be polite to people, but like, you don't have to keep engaging with them, is my point. So that happened. But then once we got inside, it was, you know, social distance. You had to order food, and then we ordered drinks. The drinks helped me. The full moon was really beautiful. I actually have a picture or a video I took. And yeah, and then we were sitting in hammocks, so that like made me feel really good because we were secluded, we were in our own bubble. And like, then me and her just got to talking, which is the whole reason why I went out with her. Like, I was trying to get some drinks and chill with my friend that I hadn't seen in a long time. And so yeah, it was good vibes. Oh, but the part I didn't mention was that, oh my god, I'm already at 19 minutes. Oh my god. It wasn't supposed to be this long. But the part that I didn't mention was that the guy ended up calling me. And the guy that I had just mentioned earlier in the video that I'm getting over, like, he called me and he was like, oh, like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going out with my friend. And then he was like, oh, like, trying to act like he cared about me. And he's like, oh, please be careful. And I'm like, okay, like, he had me blocked since the last time I seen him, which was like, I don't know, I think 2 weeks ago on a Friday. And so he had me blocked. And I think it was longer than 2 weeks, but whatever. So then it's like right after he sees me, he blocks me. And I'm like, this is such bullshit, honestly. So I called him out. I was angry that I'm like, really? You unblock me and feel like you can contact me just because he wants to get what he wants, which is me to go see him. And so I ended up calling him back because I hung up. And then I ended up calling him back and being like, how dare you feel like you can just call me because you want to see me and then you block me after I leave? Like, why the hell do you keep blocking me after I leave? And then like, he didn't really say anything, and then I just said, don't call me anymore if you're going to continue blocking me. And then I hung up, and then he unblocked me, he texted me, and basically it was just like, I truly feel like it was our closing conversation. I got to say what I wanted, which was that, like, you clearly don't feel the same way about me, and you have told me that. And honestly, like, I don't doubt that you're in love with someone else. So like, just please leave me alone. And then he actually didn't lie to me for once and say like, oh no, like, I do feel the same way, blah blah blah. All he said was like, I'm single, I'm not with anyone else. But he's not denying that he's in love with someone else, and pretty much just using me. And so I was like, it doesn't matter, it's not me. And then he was like, I want to see you, like, do you want to see me? And then I was like, honestly, no, like, I don't care to ever go over again, like, stop playing games with me. And then I was just like, I'm over this situation. We're done. And then he was like, okay, bye. And then that was it. So and then my friend was like, oh my God, how do you feel? And like, I honestly felt pretty good. Like I said, I had already like cried. I feel like I've cried so much that like I'm finally getting to that point where I accept it, and I'm just, the pain is getting less and less. And like, it's true. Like, I just know that I deserve better, and he's not the one giving it to me. And unless he's going to start like changing or showing me otherwise, which he's not going to, I don't expect that or don't hope for that anymore. Like, I'm done with it. So that is a plus. I feel really good about that. Today, however, and I think alcohol, that was pretty much the end of my night, but I think like today when I woke up, I felt, I don't know, I posted a picture from the thing that from yesterday because I took a really cute picture, posted it on Instagram, and I posted it at a really bad posting time. I posted it at like 7:50 in the morning, which my followers, like, they're asleep, and then like I don't know, memes get above that, or memes like posts, and then people don't get to see like my picture, which sounds really stupid. Like, I was like, oh my God, Celine, like, why do you care? You like your picture, it's cute. It's just start getting in like this insecure mode. And then so all day my mind has been bickering. It's like the two twins in my head, because I'm a Gemini, are just going back and forth. And like my higher self is like, Celine, like, we don't care anymore about like likes and how people like view you. Like, stop caring so much about what people think. I think that's been the hardest thing that I've had to get over, is like just like caring how people perceive me. Like, I just need to do me and not like care. And like, I've made so much progress, but there's days like this. And again, I think it happens always, honestly, after I drink alcohol, because it's a downer for me, and I get affected by it so easily, especially where I'm at in my spiritual journey. Like, I feel other people's energies very easily, and like, yeah, alcohol, different things influence me very easily. So like physically and emotionally and mentally, and probably spiritually too. But yeah, so I don't know, I was just in my head feeling insecure and negative. And so then like earlier today, I like wrote down affirmations, and that actually helped me bounce back. And I was like, yes, like, again, I felt my higher self really coming into play. And just like, it's like, before I did any self-love work, and this is gonna be the last thing I say because I'm already at 24, but before all the self-love work, it's like my higher self was at 10%, and then my ego, which is my insecurity and all that, my fears, was like 90% of me. And then after doing work, it finally got to 50-50. And now with where I'm at, I honestly feel like my higher self is starting to be more than my ego and all the insecurities and stuff like that. And so like my old lies that I told about myself, like, I'm starting to believe my new like self-loving ways, the ways that I think about myself, and just everything that I've been working on, like, it's starting to finally set in and sink in. So, but there's still hard days, of course, and it's never going to be like 100%. It's just, I think that's what a true self-love, like, the self-love journey never ends. Sorry, Mercury retrograde is going to happen soon, but I'm a Gemini, and it affects Geminis and Virgos because we're ruled by Mercury. Just a little astrology 101, like, way more than it affects other signs. So I, like, yesterday I couldn't even talk. It was really, really bad. But yeah, so then, yeah, my whole point is that like the self-love journey never ends, and I know that. And I know that I'm like continuously working on just becoming my higher self, making that the main part of me. And I'm definitely getting better, and I just wanted to like talk about today because it's important that, it's not always roses. The self-love journey is hard, and there's always the days that you're like, fuck, I'm really feeling like shit. And, this is just the work that had to go into it. I had to write positive affirmations. I had to not care that I posted my photo at a bad posting time. It's like, okay, remind yourself that it's about what you think. The acceptance should come from me and not from the outside world and, followers and stuff like that. Like, it really doesn't matter. I feel good. I'm following my heart. I'm doing what feels good to me. And I'm really trying not to care what other people think. But yeah, so that was this week, and I'm going to just stop right there before I keep rambling. I hope you guys, I don't know, enjoy this. If you do watch it, let me know what you think. Remember that there's a full moon, or that there's been a full moon, lasts for 3 days. So lots of high energy, but stay positive. And as always, peace, love, and soul vibes.